Hello again in another video, in another lesson. Well, in this lesson, which is section 5, 3, the third section of chapter 5, we're going to talk about another law of trigonometric function, which is called the law of cosine. Well, the law of cosine and the law of sine, there is a little difference, small difference between them, that we need to take care about it, because a lot of students will get confused when and where should we use the law of sine and where should we use the law of cosine. In this video, I'm going to just answer that question and I will just clarify everything. Alright, regarding to the law of cosine, remember in previous lesson we said that if we have a triangle and in our triangle two angles or two sides are given, for instance, if two angles and one side are given, the side should not be between the two given angles. Then we were allowed to use the law of sine. As well as if two sides and one angle were given, the angle shouldn't be between the given sides. Then we were able to use the law of sine. But today, we are going to realize that what if we have a triangle that two angles, two sides were given and the angle between them as well was given. In that case, we need to use the law of cosine. Let me just make it more clear and repeat it. If two sides and one angle between them were given, in that case, we are going to use the law of cosine. That is one type of question. There is another type of question that we need to take care of it because we are going to deal with that. When all the three sides of a triangle are given, all the three sides of a triangle are given, and the question absolutely will ask about the angle of one of the angle of this triangle. In that case, we are going to use again the law of cosine. So basically the law of cosine is useful for two type of questions. When two sides and one angle between them are given, and when all the three sides are given, we are going to use the law of cosine. Perfect. So this is exactly what we discussed about it. As was discussed in the previous lesson, not all triangles can be analyzed by the sine law. For instance, triangles where two sides and the angle between them are known, or when two angles and the side between them are known, cannot be solved. Previously, in previous video, we just realized this. However, this problem has been solved by the cosine law. Alright, so the cosine law is something like this. Consider this triangle, which is triangle ABC. Of course, the side against each angle will be shown by the small letter of that angle. For instance, angle A, so the side against it is its length is showing by the small letter of A. All right, so A, B, and C. This one is the angle, and that small c is the length of the side. So if just want to define one of these formula, that it is called the law of cosine. They are actually the same thing, but one of them. So imagine the question. Imagine that it will ask for these sides, for the length of this side, which is AC, and it's shown by B. So in that case, we should have this side, that side, and the angle between them. Then we are going to say that, okay, the side that the question asked for is B squared. Always square, equals to. So the sum of the square of the other two sides that are given, c squared plus a squared minus, be careful, that minus is fixed, as well as this number, minus 2 times the given side, a, c, and at the end times it by cosine, the angle between them, which is the angle b. So cosine b. This is how we are going to work with the law of cosine. So let's just go through the questions. I'm pretty sure it's going to be more clear. But remember, when we are going to use the law of cosine, when two sides and the angle between them is given, or when all the three sides are given. So take a look at this one. Find the value of x in this triangle. So in this triangle, as you can see, x is the length of this side. that it asks us to find it. So in order to find it, we need a calculator. Yes, we have it here. Hopefully it's perfect, because we are going to use it. So we said that the length of that side squared, which means x squared equals to the sum of the given side square, which is 10 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times the length of each given side. 10, 9, cosine the angle between the given two sides, which is cosine 47. So that's right now that, imagine the question has been solved, because everything right now related to how to use these calculators. Because sometimes the students actually get confused, especially there is a common mistake here. I'm just going to share it with you. So x squared equals to 10 squared, everybody know that, 100. 9 squared, 81, minus 2 times 10 times 9. And look, 2 times 10 times 9 times cosine 47. So it equals to 122.75. 122.75. So let's just simplify more. 100 plus 81 is equal to 181 minus 122.75. So the common mistake that I was actually about to, I said I'm going to share with you. Sometimes the students are just calculating here, 10 times 9, 90 times 2, 180, 47. So they are just going to come and say that, okay, this one is equal to 181 minus 180. No. This 180 is the coefficient of cosine 47, and these two are not like them to subtract or operate them. That's why we need to just first of all multiply this coefficient by the cosine of the given angle, then turn it to a number, a constant. Then we are just going to subtract with that. All right. So here, I hope that you understand it. 181 minus 122.75 equals to 58.25. So x squared equals to 58.25. Take square root for both sides. So x equals to, why do we take square root? Because we need to remove this square. So take square root for the result, equals to 7.63. 7.63. Approximately, you can say that it equals to 8. That is how we are dealing with such a question by using the law of cosine. Let me just make sure about the video. All right. Yes, everything is clear. Perfect. Find the measure of the angle x. So angle x is given here. We need to find the measure of it. That is the second case of the second type of questions that can be solved by using law of cosine. All right. So law of cosine says that if the three lengths of a triangle are given, in that case, in order to find the angle, any angle of the triangle, we need to use the law of cosine. It says that law of cosine. So here, angle x. In front of angle x, what sides do I have? 21. So you are going to say that 21 squared equals to 14 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 11 times 10 times cosine of that angle between them, which is cosine x. All right, so 21 squared is equal to 441. 14 squared, 196 plus 10 squared, 100 minus directly 2 times 10, 20 times 11. So 2 times 10 times 11, it equals to 2 times 10 times 11, 220 cosine 220 cosine x. Perfect. So right now, add these two. 441 equals to 196 plus 100, so it's equal to 296 minus 220 cosine x. Perfect. So here, Sorry, I knew that there is a mistake here. Be careful, this one is not 10, it's 11. I just want you to change this one to 11 squared, and as well as this one to 14. This is to 11. Why did I write like this? Okay, let me just check it, double check it again. 14 squared, 196, 11 squared, 121, 121. 2 times 14 times 11, so 2 times 14 times 11 equal 2 times 14 times 11, 308. So this one equals to 308 cosine x. Perfect. So right now, the result of these two, 196 plus 121, 196 plus 121 equals to 370. 370 minus 308 cosine x. Now be careful, because most of the students sometimes, I actually saw it, that they subtract 370 minus 308, then they are going to say that, okay, it equals to 9 cosine x. No, you cannot do like this, because this has a cosine x, which in fact 308 is a coefficient of cosine x. So we cannot just operate it with a constant number. Therefore, we need to move this 317 to the other side. In that case, we are going to have 441 minus 317 equals to negative 3.8 cosine x. So 441 minus 317, it equals to 124, equals to negative 3.08 cosine x. Now divide both sides by negative 3.8, because it's the coefficient of x, negative 3.38, 308. That's going to cancel this one. Be careful, there is a negative here. So cosine x basically equals to 124 divided by 308, negative 0.40. Be careful. Positive divided by negative, negative. Now, we have got cosine x equals to negative 0.40. We recently mentioned that if you want to find out the angle, we need to use inverse trigonometric ratio. So let's just take inverse. How did we take inverse? We said that cosine will become cosine negative 1, and the place of these two are going to be switched. So negative 0.40 equals to x. So shift cosine inverse negative 0.40. It's going to give us 113. So x, the measure of x is equal to 113 degrees point, let's say 5, which approximately equals to 114 degrees. This is how we use the law of cosine when we have 3 lengths of a triangle. First of all, we need to just use the formula, substitute the given information into the formula, the rule. Then we are going to get cosine x equals to a number, but we are not looking for cosine x, we are looking for the x. So we need to take inverse to get the x. Perfect. There is an example, but how much time do we have? It's like from, okay, we have time still. All right. Find the measure of the angle BC, not angle BC. Find the length of BC. Find the length BC. BC. So where is BC in our triangle? In our triangle, this is BC. So we need to find this one. All right. By using the law of cosine. Why? Because two sides and the angle between them are given. So let's just define it. So BC, I'm going to call this BC x. Okay, so I'm going to say that, okay, x squared equals to 6 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 6 times 5 times cosine 64. Alright, perfect. So x squared equals to 6 squared, 36 plus 25 minus 2 times 6 times 5 is equal to 60, sorry. 2 times 5 times 6 equals to 60 times cosine 64. It's going to give me 26.30. 26.30. Now finally, x squared equals to 36 plus 25, it's equal to 61 minus 26.30. So at the end, so I'm going to reach x squared equals to 61 minus 26.30, it equals to 34.7. 34.7. Take square root. Take square root. So take square root to kill that square, it equals to 5.8. It equals to 5.8, which means x equals to 5.8. Approximately equals to 6. This is how we are dealing with such a question by using the law of cosine. I hope that till now the things are kind of like understandable. Perfect. The next question, we have three sides. Okay, side 6, 5, and 11. While that doesn't make sense, this side is the biggest one, so this 11 is supposed to be here. But so let me just do it. Let's say 11 is here, and 5 should be here. Okay. It asks for find the measure of the angle n. So we need to find this angle. Let's name it as x. All right. So we said that whenever we have got three lengths of a triangle, we are just going to find the measure of the angle, any angle that the question asked for, by using the law of cosine. So we are going to just use that rule. So it says, the rule of cosine says that the side against the opposite angle, or the side in front of the angle between the two given sides, squared. So 5 squared equals to 11 squared plus 6 squared minus 2 times 11 times 6 times cosine of x. We don't have cosine of x. Since it asks for the angle, at the end, we need to use inverse trigonometry. Perfect. So 5 squared, 25, equals to 121 plus 36 minus 2 times 11 times 6, so it's equal to 2 times 11 times 6, it equals to 132 cosine x. So 121 plus 36, it equals to 121 plus 36 equals to 157. So 25 equals to 57 minus 132 cosine x. Perfect. So right now we're going to say that move again, don't make the same mistake that I said it already. This negative 132 is the coefficient of cosine x. Don't minus these two. Please move this number to the number side. So it's going to become 25 minus 157 equals to negative 132x. Okay, so 25 minus 157, it equals to negative 132. Negative 132 equals to negative 132 cosine x. Sorry, it should be cosine x here as well. Cosine x. So cosine x divided by negative 132 divided by negative 132. That's going to go with this here and here and here and here. So cosine x at the end equals to 1. Okay, take the inverse. Cosine inverse 1 equals to x. Cosine inverse, shift, cosine inverse 1 equals to 0. Cosine, yes, cosine 0 equals to 1. So it means that angle is 0, while it doesn't make sense, honestly. Logically, it doesn't make sense. Otherwise, our calculations are 100% correct. But the thing that comes up as a result, that doesn't make sense, because this angle, of course, it has a measure, not 0. Okay? So our calculation, our result is definitely correct, but logically it doesn't make sense. Okay, let's just move to one more question, but we have got a lot of questions, so let's let's move to this one. Okay. So as you can see in this triangle, it says find the measure of x. X is outside of the triangle, so it is the length of a side. But as you can see, two sides and the angle between them are given. Therefore, we need to use the law of cosine. So we're going to say that, okay, x squared equals to 20 squared, okay, plus 15 squared minus 2 times 15 times 20 times cosine 95. All right, so x squared equals to 20 squared, it's equal to 400. 15 squared it equals to 225 minus 2 times 15, 2 times 20, 2 times 15 times 20 times cosine 95. So all together it's going to give us y 2 times 15 times 20 times cosine 95. Cosine cosine 95. So the result equals to negative 52. So here, okay, we're going to say that here is the result of here is equal to negative 52.29. Very beautiful example. So this negative with this negative is going to be cancelled, which is plus. Okay, so x squared equals to 400 plus 225 plus, be careful, this 2 becomes positive, so plus 52 plus 52 point, let's say 29 equals to that number 677.29. If you just take square root of it, so 677.29, take square root. This is going to go with this one. X equals to square root of this number, which is 26 almost. So that side equals to 26 by using the law of cosine. Perfect. We have the last question. So the last question, 3 sides are given. 3 sides are given. So in that case, again, we are going to use the law of cosine, but be careful. It asks for the angle. So what is the opposite side to that angle? It's 11. So you're going to say that 11 squared equals to 9 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 8 times 9 times cosine x. This is what the law of cosine says. All right, 11 squared is equal to 121. 81 plus 64 minus 2 times 8 times 9, 2 times 8 times 9, 144. 144 cosine x. Again, I'm going to repeat it. Don't don't write, for example, 81. So let's wait a second. 121. 81 plus 64. 81 plus 64. It equals to 145 minus 144 cosine x. I have seen that some students are just minusing these two, while it's definitely wrong, because this is a number that is a coefficient of cosine x, so they cannot be operated with each other. So move this 145 to the number side. So we are going to say that 121 minus 145 equals to negative 144 cosine x. So 121 minus 145, 121 minus 145, it equals to negative 24 equals to negative 144 cosine x. These two negatives are going to cancel each other. Okay, now finally divide both sides by 144 by 144. That's going to cancel this side. Finally, cosine x equals to 24 divided by 144. 24 divided by 144, it equals to 0.16. 0.16. To find the angle, we need to take inverse. So we are going to say that cosine inverse of 0.16, remember, these two are going to switch their places, equals to x, the measure of x. So shift cosine inverse 0.16, the result equals to 80.7. 80.7. Approximately, we can say that it equals to 81 degrees. So the measure of this angle equals to 81 degrees. That's all about the law of cosine. We solved some questions, some important questions in this video. I hope that you took notes whenever you are listening to my videos. Well, finally, I'm just going to remind you the difference between the law of sine and the law of cosine was, if you have a triangle, and in our triangle, if two sides and the angle between them are given, we are going to use the law of cosine. But if the two sides and the angle were given, but the angle was not between the two sides, wasn't between them, in that case we are going to use the law of sine. As well as if we have two angles on one side but not between them, still we use the law of sine. There is the last case regarding the cosine. If all the three sides are given, in a triangle, and it asks for one of the angle inside, one of the interior angle, in that case we are going to use the law of cosine as we already define it. So thank you so much for listening to me. I hope that this video gives you a lot of benefit, and see you in another video.